basta. Are mesothelioma a settlement taxable income? Taxes and mesothelioma lawsuit settlements. In the US, most forms of income are taxed by the Internal Revenue Services (IRS). Yet, money earned from a mesothelioma lawsuit settlement is generally exempt from tax liability. However, some taxes may apply based on the details of the settlement or jury verdict. An experienced mesothelioma attorney should be aware of the relevant taxes for your case. Are there taxes on mesothelioma lawsuits and settlements? The United States Internal Revenue Services (IRS) is responsible for taxing income, including some types of income awarded by the settlement of a lawsuit. For those affected by mesothelioma, legal compensation is a primary form of reimbursement. Depending on several factors of your settlement, you may owe taxes from the earnings of your asbestos lawsuit. Usually, mesothelioma lawsuits end before that a case reaches trial, commonly known as the settlement. Sometimes the cases go to trial and end with a jury's verdict, either in favor of the plaintiff or defendant. According to Section 104 of the IRS Code, the same taxes apply to settlements awarded before a trial starts and compensation from a jury verdict. Typically, lawsuit settlements granted for physical injuries or sickness such as mesothelioma are exempt from taxes. Factors of your lawsuit that may affect your tax liability include case jurisdiction where the lawsuit is filed, certain pre-settlement agreements, state of residence, your state's taxes and city taxes. Taxing personal injury and wrongful death lawsuits. Typically, mesothelioma lawsuits consist of personal injury and wrongful death suits. People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma or an asbestos-caused disease tend to file personal injury lawsuits. Conversely, family members, caretakers, and friends may file a wrongful death lawsuit. Personal injury lawsuits are generally exempt from being taxed. These cases compensate plaintiff for the consequences of their cancer diagnosis, like lost wages, medical costs, and travel expenses. In cases where plaintiffs provide adequate documentation supporting their expenses, they are usually exempt from taxes. Similarly, wrongful death case settlements are not considered taxable. The proceeds from these cases are often the result of compensatory damages. However, in some states, wrongful death settlements are categorized as punitive damages against the negligent company. According to the US tax code, punitive damages are taxable. Unlike compensatory damages rewarding plaintiffs for injuries, punitive damages penalize companies for their actions. A court may also award punitive damages in addition to compensatory settlements to discourage future corporate negligence. Some tax laws allow a portion of punitive damages to stay untaxable. Refer to experienced asbestos lawyer or certified public accountant (CPA) for details about the applicable state and federal tax laws. Asbestos trust fund claims and tax liability. Many asbestos manufacturers knowingly allowed the widespread use of asbestos contaminated materials. Large companies like Johns Manville and W.R. Grace filed bankruptcy after a wave of personal injury litigation. Their actions resulted in thousands of work-related exposures and death. Consequently, personal injury and wrongful death lawsuits are commonly forms of legal compensation for those affected by mesothelioma. An attorney can also help aid you in filing an asbestos trust fund claim to receive a compensation from companies that declared bankruptcy. The IRS recognizes asbestos settlements, including trust fund claims and jury verdict amounts, as the same type of non-taxable income in most cases. What percentage of a settlement is taxable? The IRS does not generally tax mesothelioma settlements until a set cap or percentage is set. Instead, certain aspects of settlement's total might be considered.